Hello guys and girls, and welcome to a brand new Thaumcraft 4.2 tutorial. So I did a tutorial back on Thaumcraft 4 back in the day, a couple months ago actually, and I don't think that I did it justice. I think my recordings got a lot better and I feel I should give it another go because it's such a good mod and I want to do a whole fresh new tutorial on it. So as you can see, I've got a lot of things prepared for today. I'm going to try and keep it short and sweet because nobody wants to watch an hour-long tutorial. So without further ado, let's jump straight into it. So just a quick note, with this tutorial series, we are going to go in depth through everything. I've got my little cheat sheet book here, and we're going to go through all of it, even all the way up to Eldritch. And once I complete all of that, we can go into Thaumic Tinkering, which is really cool mod. And we got Thaumic Exploration as well, and Thaumic Energistics. So we'll cover all of it, all the sort of add-ons you can have for Thaumcraft as well, because a lot of them are really cool and not a lot of people know much about them. So without further ado, let's begin. So we're going to start with getting started in Thaumcraft. So very first thing you want to do, there's two ways you can start. You can start this way, which is what I'm going to show you, or you can just go out and grab a load of this stuff first. If you're mining, you don't want to jump in Thaumcraft straight away. You want to play, like, get your mining and stuff done. Fair enough, you go do that. You can get all of this without having to do anything else. You can just collect all these up. Apart from that one there, you can collect all of these ore gens that gen in the world. But I'll talk a little bit about them in a second. So, first thing you want to do, in my opinion, is you want to come over to your crafting station, crafting bench, whatever. Make sure you get yourself a little bit of iron, and you want to turn a couple of these into nuggets. You're going to have to turn 2 ingots into nuggets, because you're going to need 10 nuggets altogether for the next part, which I'm about to show you. So once you get your nuggets, you want to come over here. You want to make yourself a 1 cap. These are done in a little upside down U shape, as if you're making a helmet. Iron helmet with iron nuggets instead, and this is going to give you a Thaumcraft iron cap. No magic required to make this whatsoever. So that's pretty simple. So you're going to need 10 of them, like I said. You only get 9 off of the 1, which is why you got to break down 2. So once you got your 2 1 caps, you want to come in here with a stick, just a standard Minecraft stick. Put 2 iron caps either side like this in this pattern and like that, and it will give you an iron capped wooden one. This is a capacity of 25. That'll be the vis count on it. Do not worry about the warp effects. I've just literally, because I opened the cheat sheet, I got loads of warp. I will explain later on in the future. So first thing I say you want to do is get yourself a Thaumonomicon. It's basically the Thaumcraft book. It's going to be your guide. You're going to unlock things as you go through and you do research. It's really cool. But it's really simple to get. All you have to do is get yourself a bookcase. You can find these in villages. You make one yourself. They're fairly cheap. It's going to cost you 3 leather. 3 leather, 9 pieces of paper, and 6 pieces of wood. Very cheap to make. And then all you have to do is come up with your one that you've just made. You have to make the one to do this. And click yourself on a bookcase. You're going to get this really cool little animation thing flying around, and you got yourself a book there. Walk into it and you'll pick it up, and you'll have an empty book. You won't have a full one like mine because I've unlocked all the research with my cheat sheet. So once you got that, you want to make sure, if you've not done this already, go and grab yourself some infused ores. You want to grab yourself as many of these as you can, because you're probably going to use quite a lot of these in the future. You've got all of the primal aspects in infused in shard form and infused stone form. So you've got air, you've got terra, which is earth, you got ignis, which is fire, aqua, which is water, ordo, which is like order, and entropy, which is like chaos and stuff like that. You've also got one other shard in the game. It's called a balance shard, but we're not going to get into that yet. That's going to require some alchemy, so I will show you later on in the future. Time set 0. So I'll show you later on in the future exactly how you get that one. It's going to require some alchemy though, which we'll get on to in another episode. So once you got yourself a couple of these, at the very minimum, you need 2 to progress to the next level. So make sure you get at least 2 shards. If you want to go mining, get loads, like I said, you can do that. So the next thing you want to do is make sure you have a little bit of gold as well for your mining run. When you're getting these, you only need 2 pieces again. And you're going to come in here and you're going to make yourself thermometer. This doesn't stack in item frames very well. It stacks horizontally on the floor as if you placed it on the floor. So I couldn't do anything about that. It's really, really weird. But yes, you can come in here. You see here, we got a thermometer. This requires no magic again whatsoever. Does require 2 shards though. Doesn't matter which 2 shards it is. You can have a variety of any 2 shards you want in there, and then you have a piece of glass in the middle with 2 gold ingots either side, and that is going to make this thing called a thermometer. Thermometers are very, very, very cool little things, which I'll show you in a minute exactly what they do. There's 2 other things that I think you should make beforehand though. So you want to make yourself a table. This is a Thaumcraft table. You're going to need 3 of these in total at the very minimum in the beginning. Very, very cheap again. As you can see there, 2 pieces of wood either side for the legs, and then 3 slabs on top for the top of the bench. Not too hard at all, and this is going to make you tables. You then want to come over and make yourself scriber's tools. There's 2 ways, scribing tools. There's 2 ways you can do this. You can use a glass vial from Thaumcraft, which is made with 3 glass like that, like you would do your standard vanilla bottle, which will give you 3 bottles. Or you can put a little piece of clay on top of it, and that's going to give you 8 glass vials, which is going to be very handy later on down the line. So if you don't have glass bottles lying around, I'd say make these if you're getting heavily into Thaumcraft, because they will help you later on, and you can use them for this recipe. But just to show you there, that's going to make you scribing tools, and if you swap that out with that one, make you scribing tools also. Awesome. So you're going to make yourself a set of scribing tools. I'm going to grab them ones with me just for the next demonstration. So once you've got all that set out, you grab your 3 tables, run them all in a row. You don't have to have them all together. You have to have at least 2 of them together, and then this one can be separate or whatever. But then you grab your scribing tools, and on the 2 together you put on the left one, click like that, and it's going to make yourself a research table. You come in here, it's going to have loads it's going to have like no aspects in the beginning because you haven't researched anything yet, unless you've gone around with your thing, but you shouldn't have that many aspects in there yet. So you're not going to have all of this. You're going to have to unlock them. Aspects is another huge thing that I don't want to get into because it's such a deep subject to jump into. But I will put a link down in my description of the wiki where you can see all the aspects, all the combinations, how to unlock all of them. I think there's somewhere on that site as well, tells you exactly what items you can find them in and stuff like that, which we'll get onto another stage. But I'm not going to go through every single aspect because we do not have time for that. If by popular demand you guys really want an aspects video, let me know and I will do a completely separate video, completely separate from the entire tutorial series, and then I can go through all the aspects for you, and it's not going to be like a whole episode taken up of this because I don't think it's necessary. There's a whole wiki page and I managed to get all the aspects in an hour just looking at the wiki page after scanning and some stuff. So it's up to you guys. If you want it, let me know. But next thing, sorry for rambling, but next thing, right, so we got our last table here. So you got your 3rd one here, you've made your research table, you got 3rd one, it might be next to it, might be all the way over here somewhere, who knows, who cares, doesn't matter, as long as there's one on its own. You take your little iron cap one, don't need any stuff in it, which is why we're not going out to find research yet. And then you just click on it like so, and it's going to make yourself an arcane work table. This is what you're going to need to make anything else in a minute. Right, so you've got your 2 main workstations for Thaumcraft. You've got yourself a basic wand and your thermometer, and you've got some scribing tools. I'll show you exactly how these are used later on as well, because you're going to need several of these, and you'll see exactly why. So once you've got yourself your thermometer, you're going to pop it out into your inventory. It's going to have this little blue hue over it, and if you have a look around, you can scan standard vanilla items with this. So if you scan a glass block, there you go, we discovered 1 herber. We got research point for herber and terra. It will say down there in the corner. I'm not sure if it's just letting me scan it because I have all the aspects. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's just letting me scan everything because I have all the aspects. But if you run around, you can scan things. It will let you scan some things. It won't let you scan some other things. It will say you need to scan things beforehand, or you need to unlock certain aspects, which you can do in the research table. Like you can combine them in the research table like this. I'm not going to go into it, but you can put like fire and air together, and that is going to make you Lux. And you don't have to discover Lux. You don't have to have already discovered Lux to discover Lux. You can just go find something with air and Ignis. As soon as you've got them aspect points, come into here and use them up. And then you can unlock things that way, which is what you go to the wiki for. But it's going to be very expensive if you do that to discover everything. So even though we don't, like, not hovering over it, you can see outside the thermometer there, that is a node. Nodes, you will unlock all the aspects on them, so you can run around and look for nodes, probably the very best way to do this. But if you do it, you'll see how many points we got there. We got 4 of each there. Normally you get about 6 in the beginning. Starts to soften around 50, and it softens loads at about 100. But nodes is probably the best way because there's no sort of limitations on it. It doesn't go, you have to research this beforehand. I don't believe so anyway, but you just tend to run up to things like they're in trees as well. Look, if you dig out this tree, I want to show you this anyway. It'll have like this little niche thing on it. It's got like a little Tetris piece. Nodes, you can scan them for the nodes. If you scan the log, it'll tell you. And there's different types of nodes as well. You can see there's a pure one there. Let's go have a look at what this one was. This one was a normal node. You've got bright nodes, you've got energized nodes, loads of different kinds of nodes. We'll go over them another day maybe, or you can look them up on the wiki. Up to you. Like I said before, if you guys want to know anything, leave it down in the comments. I will make another video specifically for it if you guys ask for it. So, next thing. Once you go grab yourself a load of research points, go scan everything you can until you can't scan anymore, until your finger hurts from clicking. Once you've done all of that, you want to come over and you want to grab yourself a paper and some scribing tools. And then you can come into your Thaumcraft and you'll be able to research things. So some things will be flashing. We're here on the basic page. You'll have auras and nodes will be unlocked already, but you'll have like advanced node tapping, which should be flashing, and it'll say like if you don't have the scribing tools and paper, it'll say you need scribing tools and paper. Get that in your inventory, and then you click on it. It'll give you a little research note, and then you put it in your table. Put your research note in here. You need scribing tools in here as well. And these will use durability after a while. You just refill them with ink sacs every now and then, so that's not too difficult to do. And then you put it in here and it'll come up with a little hex puzzle. Some of them are kind of hard, some of them are kind of easy. Take your time with them, don't get stressed out. They're not the easiest things in the world when you start off, but once you play the game for a little bit, you will get full on into it. You will see how easy they are, and you'll just naturally be able to do them. But we're not going to be covering any of that sort of stuff. I'm just going to show you all the different things that you can do, how to create them and stuff like that, sort of infusions and stuff like that as well. Pretty simple stuff. We're not going to go over the research. I will maybe try and get some hex diagrams down in the descriptions for you guys as well, or do them in some overlays. Depends. We'll see later on as we get into actually making stuff. But let's go into this. Right, so the next thing you want to do is once you want to go out and you want to find yourself some nodes, okay? So you want to scan a couple of these, and then once you get these nodes are going to grant you the ability to recharge your wand. So you can't see it, but you can see it with Walia, or you scan over it like that, your crosshairs are on it, you come out with your wand, and you right click on it. And if you look up in my top left hand corner, you can see my wand that is refilling. Really, really cool stuff. So let's quickly go over to this one and see if we can't fill it up real quick. So this is how you recharge your wand. Nodes, it only works on nodes. Right, the pure ones are very, very small as well. Just bear that in mind. Let's see if we can't find another one. Just real quick, and we'll show this to you, and then if we can't find one in the next couple of seconds, we will move on. Hello guys, and welcome back. So I went and got auto, literally the next one after I stopped recording. So right, we're going to continue on with this. So we're going to come into our arcane work table here, and I've got some things set up here. This is going to be really, really handy, and this thing is called Thaumium goggles. So what you're going to do is you went and got yourself some this in your wand. And if you see here, what I've done is I put 2 thermometers, 4 bits of lead, 2 bits of gold. These are going to make the goggles for you. You can wear them on your head. It's basically you're going to have thermometers with you wherever you go. Really, really cool stuff. So you're going to stick that in there. You can see the price went up a little bit. If you have a look at the one thing, it will say capacity 25, in brackets 110% average vis cost. You can get this down later on with better wands, better armor, stuff like that, which I'll show you later on. So you're going to have 5.5, 3.3, 3.8, 5.5 for the normal ones. It should be 5 for the normal ones, 3 for these two. Cool. Right, so we pop them off. Take out our one, and as you can see, it's drained a little bit of the vis in there, which isn't too bad. You're just going to have to keep recharging your wand every now and then. Put the goggles on, and now look, without the thermometer, we can see that node like easily. We don't have the blue hue on it. We don't have to walk around with this stupid thing in our hand. You have to have this to scan things. Don't think you can get rid of it that easily. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use a alchemy. Basic alchemy. We're going to turn our cauldron into a thing. Hang on. Cauldron into a crucible. You literally just right click it with the wand. Doesn't require any vis whatsoever. And you know how to make a cauldron upside down pants with iron. This is going to get us into alchemy, which we're going to cover in one of the next episodes. We're not going to get into it today. It's just another piece of equipment that I think you guys should have. So just covering a couple more things before we finish up here. Not going to take too much longer of your time. We've got some knowledge fragments here. You'll find these about in dungeon chests. If you find one, you can right click it. Let's have a look here. We can have right click it, and it will give you some research points down. You saw there, it gave us all of the primal aspects. Not too bad at all. Or you can put them, 9 of them, in a crafting table together and hit research note, and it will give you an unknown research note. Whoops, didn't want to do that. And it will just give you random research notes. That seems to be giving me knowledge fragments because I haven't got any more research to do, which is pretty nifty. But yeah, so that's what you can do with them. There's 2 different things. You can either use them for getting primal aspects, or you can use them for research, and it will just randomly give you a piece of research you haven't done yet. Cool. So we're going to move on. These little things called here. These little things here are peck foragers. We're going to have a little look at the entry in the book here. These are only found in the magical forest biomes and stuff like that. They are very, very strong, so don't go attacking them sort of haphazardly or whatever. They are not normally aggressive, but when riled up, they'll band together and hunt down their attackers. So not just the one that you attack, it's going to be like pigmen. They're not going to attack you unless you attack them, and then they're all literally going to swarm you like hell. They're notoriously avaricious and will loot anything not nailed down, though they prefer precious things. It said if you feed the desired for material wealth, it could possibly befriend one. Once befriended, they often carry one of those objects that they might be willing to part with. So you can befriend these things. I'm going to guess if you throw down like gold and stuff, they look very in-depth conversation. But if you throw down gold and stuff, I'm going to assume that you can befriend one of them like you would do. It would be like taming anything really, but it doesn't seem like it's going to last long, so you might have to keep feeding them gold. I'm not sure if that's worth it. I've never tried it myself. So moving on from them, we've got 2 trees. We've got the Greatwood tree and we've got the Silverwood tree. These 2 trees are found, well, the Silverwood's commonly found in the magical biome. The Greatwood trees can be found pretty much anywhere really. They're quite big trees and they stand out pretty well. They all have their log forms. When you cut them down, they can also be converted into planks, which can also then be turned into stairs and slabs as well. I don't think there's any other varieties that I've seen. Let's just have a look. No, so it's just the slabs, the planks, the stairs, and the logs. But they are really nifty, cool looking building blocks. We're going to have a little look at the entries of these as well real quick. These large majestic trees can be found dotted all over the countryside. Their wood is able to absorb impressive amounts of magic making as popular component in crafting of mystical devices. So you're going to need a couple of that for your next wand, so just bear that in mind as well. These rare magical trees are a wondrous sight. Their leaves shimmer with magical energy and their pale soft wood is valued for purifying properties. The tree's magical nature is such that the aura nodes often form within their hearts. This feature alone makes them silverwood saplings a prize beyond measure. So it's really hard to get saplings from this one. This one drops maybe a couple per tree. But as you saw over there, they do have nodes in them occasionally when you grow them. So it's not going to be 100%. Last thing I'm going to cover is going to be super duper quick. Is the shimmer leaf, the Vishroom, and the cinder pearls. So these things here can be really helpful later on when you start getting eerie biomes and stuff like that. They tend to spawn around the magic trees, as it will see here, and when harvested, they can be pulped. Harvested and pulped, they produce quicksilver. If you shears, you'll get the shimmer leaf itself. You shears, you want the shimmer leaves themselves later on. If quicksilver is quite easy to get with cinnabar. Vishrooms, there is no entry in Thaumonomicon that I can see about these things, but if you walk over them, they will give you nausea, as you can see on my screen there, and it'll last for a couple of seconds. Not sure what else they can be used for. I will do some research on that. Cinder pearls tend to be found in the deserts and stuff like that in very hot climates. These plants burn with elemental fire and can be harvested and ground to produce fine powder akin to blaze powder. So these will pretty much make blaze powder. Pretty nifty way to get blaze if you haven't gotten to the nether yet. So the very last thing I want to show you is mana beans. These things tend to grow in the magical forest. Oh, we got another node down there. They will grow in the magical forest on trees, and as you can see, we got some Pedicio in there. You can break these, they will give you beans. You can replant them onto trees, I do believe, and you can have yourself a little magic bean farm, which you can use for aspects and stuff later on. But that is all I'm going to cover in today's episode. I do apologise, it ran a little bit longer than I thought it would. I was aiming for about 15 to 20 minutes. We're sitting in 22 at the minute, so I do apologise for that. But I'm going to go full force into this tutorial series. Again, I love Thaumcraft. I'm going to go all the way through it in depth. Do it some justice this time. Hopefully do a good job of it. And hopefully you guys can learn something. So thank you guys very much for watching. Not going to take any more of your time. Have yourselves a very fantastic day. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you're new to the channel and you want to see more tutorial stuff. Twitter is in the description below if you have any questions that you'd like to ask me. That is it. So have yourselves a very fantastic day. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.